Okay, the next case we're going to hear will be Z0513, Summerlin Park Avenue.
Last name B-E-N-B-A-R-U-C-H.
Your address, please.
700 Park Avenue, Elizabeth, New Jersey, 07002.
Mr. Chairman? Commissioners, applicant Shay Ben-Baruch. Mr. Baruch is the owner of the property at 700 Park Avenue. This is a legal, existing, three-family house. Mr. is applying to this board for approval of an addition to the back of the structure. We're proposing no new variances. The variances that are being requested are existing and exist now. To be known, Mr. Ben-Baruch began doing some repairs on site after Hurricane Sandy, and he got carried away. And the city came along and said, we can't get permits for this unless you come before this board. This will be a three-family house, standing in non-conforming use. It is an R1 zone. And the municipality requires approval for metabolic conditions. But again, it's an existing three-family structure. It's been there for years. We can be there forever. But if you want to make a small addition on this house, you have to come back in before this board, and that's why we're here this evening. Now, Mr. Ben-Baruch, we purchased this property in January of 2012. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it's an existing three-family house.
Yes.
It's in a regular lot at the corner of Park and Springfield Road.
Yes.
There is 61 feet of frontage along Park Avenue, and 144 feet of frontage on Springfield. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, when you purchased this property, it was, as you said, a three-family building, correct?
Yes.
There's a two-bedroom apartment on the first floor, and on the second floor, there existed a one-bedroom apartment and a three-bedroom apartment.
Yes.
And all of these apartments, by standards, are small units, as a fair saying.
Yes.
Now, last October, you suffered quite a substantial damage as a result of Hurricane Sandy.
Yes.
A lot of water damage, is that correct?
Yes.
And you began making repairs to the property.
Yes.
And you did start with addition, correct?
Yes.
And then you were told by the city that you couldn't receive permits for the addition unless you came before this board to get approval for an expansion of the non-conforming use. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's what brings you here today. Now, the proposed development, as I understand it, consists of a addition to the rear, a two-story addition to the rear of the property, which has a dimension of 21 feet by 22 feet, correct?
Yes.
And when this addition is completed, it will provide for a new living, dining area, and bathroom on the first floor, correct?
Yes.
And a master bedroom on the second floor of the addition. Now, the addition is only to be used in connection with the first floor apartment, is that correct?
Yes.
So the master bedroom on the second floor of the rear addition is part of the first floor unit. Now, the whole point of this is that you and your family will be occupying the first floor apartment. And it's your wife and four children.
Yes.
New addition to the family, actually, a new baby family. And this way you have access to a master bedroom on the second floor, and it increases your living and dining areas on the first floor, correct?
Yes.
Now, Why do you want to live in this particular neighborhood?
First, my family lived there over 50 years and just lived around the same area. Second, I have my synagogue and schools for the kids, and it's very convenient, it's just across the street.
So your children attend Jewish school across the street, is that correct?
Yes.
You're also congregants of the local synagogue?
Yes.
And of course, that means that you're with the walking distance to the synagogue, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, should the board approve this application, you intend to complete construction right away, is that correct?
Yes.
And then you'll be expanding to the first floor, and moving forward to getting in there as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Thank you. Any further questions of this witness, Mr. Chairman?
Commissioners, are there any questions of this witness?
I have a question.
Commissioner Newman?
I drove past this property today, and it looks like there was construction, it's all completed. Is there going to be additional construction, or is that what was already done?
Now, since what you see is the final footprint, the interior has not been completed,
Any other questions? Commissioner Gonzalez? Yeah, question. So the intent tonight is really to come in front of the board and apply for permits, is that the case?
So we can't get the permits without an approval of an expansion of a non-conforming use. It's an interesting situation because you couldn't build a three-family house there now in this day and age. It's an R1 zone, but it's grandfathered in as a three-family house. But anytime somebody wants to expand an existing non-conforming use, no matter how modest that expansion is, you have to come here and get the board to approve it all over again. So that's what brings us here, because it requires your approval before we can get the permits to complete the project.
Can I ask why did you start the job not knowing that you need to go and obtain permits?
Yeah, everything started with Howard and Sandy.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Speak this way.
Just like
I have to hear you, your voice is really low.
I had damages, and when Hurricane Sandy came, when we had Hurricane Sandy in the back of the house, siding, windows.
You're back at the house.
Yes. And I started, repairing, windows, damages, and I made a mistake. And we had a baby, I have 4 kids, and it's only a 2-bedroom apartment downstairs. I made a mistake, and, I step to step, I went forward out, and I'm really, really sorry about it.
So basically, in the midst of repairing, you decided just to make a little bit additional.
Yes.
We're talking about a 20-foot addition, not that it's...
No, I understand. I just want to understand why you're here today.
Well, the irony of it all is the corner lot, it's hard to hide, construction, no matter how modest, on the corner lots. Anyway, this is why we're here this evening. Do we have an easy answer to that question?
Do you understand that, assuming even if we do approve, you're subject to all the regulations, the city might come down and ask you for X, A, B, and C more than you think? I mean, they're going to wind up, inspecting, and it could be, obviously plumbing, electric, sprinklers. And they're all subject to all that.
Actually, is there sprinklers?
Sorry?
You don't need sprinklers for a pre-existing non-conforming three-family house. If they were refurbishing the entire house, they
Yeah,
would...
but he's adding on the ground floor of the second.
No, he's not, he's only adding to the 23-foot addition.
Is that only one level or two levels?
Excuse me?
Is the addition only one level or 2 levels?
The addition is 2 levels.
2 levels.
But the 2-level addition is
Are-
only being used with the first floor.
With the
apartment.
ground floor apartment?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Just out of curiosity, what do you do for a living?
Sorry?
What do you do for a living?
I work in a warehouse, I'm managing a warehouse.
I also drove past the property organizing my shopping supply. Is
looking for where you were going to build this house, so we built it. We did make a mistake. Obviously understand that, and we're going to move on from there. Okay, Mr. Andrew? Does that
If you someone is going to testimony, it will be the truth, whole truth, and the truth. Name and address, please.
Chief Judge,
Oh, we recognize Mr. Zender in Mr.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Before we proceed, I have a question for Mr. Galvin, if I may.
Go ahead.
At what stage during the renovation, Mr. Galvin, and this is my own personal knowledge, I'm not even saying that this applies to this particular property, but you go into a three-family house without sprinkler system, how much of a renovation, percentage-wise, do you have to complete in that property before it triggers the warranting of installation of a sprinkler system?
I'm not 100% sure, but maybe with the renovation, value is 50% total value, and it would be treated like a construction, but I'm not 100% sure.
So I'm assuming that when the applicant submits these plans to the construction bureau, they'll look at that versus the entire footprint or the square footage of the building and make that determination. That's why, or his architect, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So they have to go through subcode reviews and submit to the building department for permits. You know, they're going to look at fire, subcode, electrical subcode, plumbing subcode, and whatever they're required to do by the applicant city, they're going to have to perform, or they're not going to get their permits.
It's part of PCA requirements for a three-family house.
With what I
It's not that,
Thank you.
it's not a lot of PCA requirements for three families regardless.
Three houses. Three units. Two family stages.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Zender? Yes.
You prepared site plan for this application, as you said?
Yes, we did.
Describe the site area.
As per sheet SB2, where the railing calculations are located, there's a part of Springfield and Park Avenue. It is a pre-existing three-family home in the middle of an R1 zone. The lot is a regular residential parallelogram. Basically, by virtue of any addition or here before the board, however, the two bulk variances, which relate to the side yards, are pre-existing to the principal structure, the existing structure.
So this addition is essentially tucked in behind the rest of the structure.
It is, it follows the right side yard property, lines with that property line. It's tucked in behind the existing structure, and it's tucked in from Park Avenue, which is the front elevation. It's tucked in below the roof line of the existing.
And you heard the testimony about regard to this family use of the first floor apartment.
Yes, as I wrote, family occupies the ground level, and he had 2 bedrooms. The intention was to expand it to the third.
And it's, we proposed addition has some features for the light
It does allow them to create a larger kitchen and create some family space, as well as an additional master bedroom, second level.
There's no alterations being made to the two apartments, so it's not second floor apartment.
No, and referencing our architectural drawings at the back, you can see that.
What are the exact dimensions of the addition?
The addition is, just reference the drawing here. I'm referencing sheet SK1. The foundation of the addition is 23 feet wide and 21 feet deep.
And you spoke of two variances, which variances are?
The 2 bulk variances on this application are the side yard variances. The railing grade side yard setback is 13 feet and 8 inches, whereas 3 feet 9
that's existing and proposed. Rear and left side yard setback is 10 feet 7, whereas 10 feet 2 is proposed. I would offer that the difference of 5 inches is, in fact, I'm going to say this 5 inches. And this is prevailing calculation, so it's based upon averages.
So again, this board is not being asked to approve any variances that were created by this addition.
No, the addition does not create any additional variances, and obviously we have here for the zoning board because of the use variance which existed prior to this addition.
Now, if we were to do this application, the variances being requested, does any benefit about surrounding uses or anything?
I believe no. In terms of the addition's size, it tucks in below the roof line of the main structure. It's aligned with the side yard, the right side yard. It's in alignment with the rear yard, so it does not create an additional perception of bulk. It's tucked in away from the corner, which is a consideration because this is a corner site. We're not impeding any site triangles, traffic visibility. We are not creating additional parking requirements for the site because it was and will remain a three-family unit. And in terms of the site parameters, it was really there's adequate open space. There's really no additional impact to the neighbors.
In residential development, here is consistent with the master plan was on the ordinance, is that correct?
It is the town's preference that new housing would be developed and that existing housing would be invested in and modernized.
Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Zimmerman? Commissioner Gonzalez?
Chairman, I have a question. Mr. Zimmerman.
Yes, sir.
The applicant, he built off of what? What drawings?
He built without our involvement, and what we have done is gone back and conducted a site survey of the existing foundation and then walls. And in addition to that, we've checked structural engineering and recommended changes. So basically, despite the fact we weren't there in the beginning, we were brought in because of the lapse in judgment, and we're supervising the construction.
Okay, if this board approves this application, your firm will be submitting a package.
Yes, yes. They have, if they receive approval from the board, they still have to receive approval from the construction department, and they are obligated to meet all the requirements by statute.
My biggest concern is, since there was no original drawings, who's going to verify to meet the requirements of A, B, and C?
That's our job. Yeah.
Okay, so your firm will be making sure that what was built will meet the standards.
Yes. Now we've already prepared a friendly plan, looked at the structure and the construction, and if we seek approval here, next step is just reviewing life safety code requirements and things like that. But yeah, it's our responsibility.
Okay, fair enough.
Any other questions, Commissioners?
I have nothing further.
Do you have any other questions?
I don't have to say any comments this board knows me as well as I know this board. I take every case that I bring here seriously. I don't like to get involved in cases where there's been construction without approval of the city or the construction department. But I did feel that this was distinguishable. There are plenty of people that come into me and they have legal apartments in the basement and in the attic and they're looking for any income from a two-family house or a three-family house. That wasn't quite the case here. This was just abject stupidity. You can't hide an addition on a corner lot. I have no way to explain that. But I also know how important this community is, how it's important for Jewish people to live in that community. And I think that's something that's indefensible, but I think also understandable. And I think we can punish Mr. Ben-Baruch for, as Chris said, a lapse in judgment. I think defendant's people rights. One becomes Elizabeth, one becomes somebody, one becomes
All right, so any further witnesses? Okay, we're going to work the session. Commissioners, I'm sorry, I didn't begin. Are there any members of the public here tonight wishing to speak for or against this application? Please come forward. Seeing none, and now we're on to work the session. Commissioners, your pleasure. All right. Commissioners,
I understand when it's really indicated about the applicant. I'm looking at what the applicant is proposing in addition to the extension. He's proposing a kitchen. This is a three-family house. He started building without permits. What makes me think that he's not going to turn that into a fourth apartment at some point? He's proposing, that's what I wanted to say.
Let me be the first to say, shame on you for building and expanding the building without permits. But you're not the first one. You might not be the last one to be doing this. A lot of these cases have come in front of our board. And we look at and evaluate the situation. One thing I can say in your favor, at least in my part of it, is that you're doing it for yourself. You're not expanding additional apartments or generating some other apartments. I just want to make that clear. You're not doing that. I can see your spiral stairs. You are generating something. You're expanding for your home, which it doesn't make it right. But you're not creating a fourth apartment like one of our commission has stated. Once again, shame on you. But under the circumstances, in my opinion, I'll be lenient. I'll be lenient and approve the application and be in favor.
Let me say something, Mr. Chairman. I'm in favor of this application, but just for clarification, because other applicants who have come before this board, who started building before, and who get caught, and then come to this board to legalize what they began doing in an illegal or inappropriate way, that doesn't mean that we're going to take this imposition with every single applicant, with all due respect. And I'm in favor of this application. You know, these houses in the Mora Hills, who would think that I can just build an expansion and get away with it?
I understand. Commissioner Fernandez. Okay. Commissioner Mathias, anything? Commissioner Hammond? Commissioner Reedy? Commissioner Silva? Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Commissioner.
I just have to say something about current events, which are directly related to this particular application. From the last couple of days,
Please remind.
talking about current events, which over the last couple of days, I'm sure everybody here in these chambers has seen the events of Orchard Street and what comes of illegal building in the city of Elizabeth. Death of a woman, a young girl in the hospital, directly related to illegal building practices. Although I'm in favor of this application, I feel very comfortable with the fact that Mr. Zender's firm is going to be responsible for reviewing what's already there and what's going to be in there going forward. But I still think that many people, the word has to be put out that building without a permit, building illegally, building anything whether it's a deck, whether it's an addition of this magnitude, will not be tolerated.
Thank you, Commissioner. I echo my colleague's sentiments on this one. Shame on you, sir. I don't know what your motives were, maybe you didn't want to pay the fees, you did just get overzealous in the building, I don't know. It will not be tolerated in this city as long as I'm on this board. So we do go by a case-by-case situation. I don't get the warm and fuzzies over this one. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I was not only shocked, but I was actually taken back when I go to your house and saw the addition already there. Here I take my time to sit before this board to make sure things are done correctly in this city, and you already have the thing built. To me, that just doesn't sit right. Not to mention the safety of your own family. If you had not been caught, quote unquote, there would have been no inspections. How do we know what the wiring people did it right? We don't. We had the incident in the city that no one wasn't leaking. With that said, do I have a motion to either approve or deny this application?
Motion to approve the application.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Gasko, second by Commissioner Talbot. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Vice Chairman Gonzalez.
Aye.
Commissioner Hernandez. Commissioner Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Nunez.
Aye.
Commissioner Silva.
Aye.
Commissioner Edie.
Aye.
Chairman Papa.
Nine.
Commissioner, thank you for your kindness and leniency.
Chairman, can you call for the meeting?
I'm going to take a 5-minute recess for a stretch.